Welcome to RedK NFO Creator. Today we're going to discuss the interface of how to use the program so you can get started. When I usually get a program for the first time, I like to go into settings, so we will go do that first. But basically what we have is under projects, you can create a new project, just give it a name, and you can open an existing project if you have one, none created yet. And you can go ahead and that's the wrong one. You can go ahead and hit manage to rename or delete any of your projects. You won't be able to rename or delete a project that's already open right now. So either open a new project or close RedK, reopen it, and then you can go in here and choose something. Now, when you first open RedK, this is what I like to call the default profile because when you create a new project or open a project, the name shows here. Well, there's no name here, so that's the default. I like that. And if you go into projects, let's go into settings. Okay, so in the default profile, you have the locations of where you're going, where your NFO files and your actors are going to be saved. So I like to call this the global settings for these two. When you create a new project, it's going to have these settings, these locations. So if you want to change these locations for all new projects, you want to do it here in the default profile where it doesn't show any project name here. When you create a new project and you go in here, you can change these locations for that particular project, but any new projects are going to have these path locations. So under projects, you can go ahead and choose new, open, and manage like we talked about. And settings, what we talked about here, add to directors list. You can, when you're working on your projects, you can type in a director's name. I found that a little clumsy because my fingers like to misspell things and mess me up. So with the directors list, I can make sure it's spelled properly, and it's just easier to select it from a drop-down list whenever I want. And anything you create in the directors list will show up for all your projects. Make sure you hit save changes when you're done. And let's see, settings. Genres list is the same. This is a list of the default genres from imdb.com. And if there's any genres you don't like to use, you can just go ahead and delete them. You can add your own ones right here. Just whatever. And they will show up in the drop-down list. Now, you don't have to make sure they're alphabetized here because they will be alphabetized automatically. As you can see here, action is gone, AAA is there. And if you make too many changes to the genres list and you want to start over, you just hit restore, action is back. Make sure you hit save changes. Okay, now the helpful hints is good at the beginning, but when you finally get tired of them, just uncheck it here and make sure you hit save changes. If for any reason you feel like you need to do a factory reset, the reason why it's here in the first place is in case you open up a project, you open up RedK and you see the word error sometimes, something's wrong. So you just go ahead and hit factory reset. It puts everything back to the default. And let's see, then you hit save changes. That's settings. Help will take you to the web page, help tutorials, that kind of thing. Check for updates. You're going to go here to check for feature updates and also to see if there's any program updates. If there's a problem with the program that someone's reported in the home page, you'll probably see a comment about check for updates, and this is where you're going to find them. About will take you to the end user license agreement. Under menu, we have create TV show NFO for series. We'll come back to that later. add actors, NFO by folder. Now, request refund. When you first purchase the program, you have 30 days to request a refund, and during that time, this menu option will be enabled. So you can go ahead and request it this way. If you find it is disabled like it is now, that means your 30-day window has elapsed, and I'm sorry, no more refunds at that point. But I thought I'd point that out. The toolbar has everything that the menu bar has except for manage projects. As you can see, new project, open project, add actors, directors list, genres. This M, I chose M here because I used to call it main TV show NFO, but it's basically just creates the TV show.nfo for your series. We'll come back to that later. NFO by folder in order to create NFO files for a bunch of files in one folder. And of course, you have your settings, help, and about. Pretty straightforward. Now, the main interface, we're still under the default profile, has 3 tabs: Movies, Episode, and Advanced. The bare minimum to get a movie NFO created to get something into Kodi is just this window, and you hit Create NFO. That's it. The bare minimum, which is required just to get the file created, is the file name, the movie title, and the plot. So anything in red you definitely have to fill out. Whatever you type in under file name, if you want to have it the same one in the movie title, I used to copy and paste it, got tired of it, so I added this. And that just copies it down, real simple. And let's see, year of the production, IMDb rating. This is IMDb votes. The rating and votes you would normally see on imdb.com. Obviously, your home movies don't have an IMDb rating, but you can put anything you want here. Plot is the description of the movie. Runtime must be entered in minutes, no decimals, please. Poster link, that can be a path to something on your computer or even a URL link. Just make sure it ends with the .jpg or .bmp or any other picture format. Same with the fan art. As you can see, these aren't required, but it does enhance the look in Kodi. Genres, this pulls up your genres list that I showed you earlier. If you want to save all these for the next time you work on a project, or open up your default profile or project, you just switch this from red to green. And then when you're ready, you hit Create NFO. The folder that it saves in will open up, and then you can just easily drag and drop your NFO to the same folder where your file is located. Pretty simple. Episode, that's where you create the NFO files for each individual TV episode. Again, the reds are required. For file name, the file names, oh, did I show you this? When you want to clear everything and start over for your next project, you just hit the clear button. The file names for movie and for episode, they have to be exactly the same as the video file they're going to be for. So normally you'll just want to copy the file name without the extension and paste it here. It's just pretty simple. Episode title, this is what shows up in Kodi as the title. So if your episode is the first season, season 01, episode 1, pilot, that's pretty common. That's the file naming convention Kodi needs to recognize it, but you don't want it to say this in Kodi, so you're just going to get rid of that part. Pretty simple. Show title, I like Star Trek, so I'm going to type Star Trek. Okay, now whatever show this is for, you have to have the show title listed here and make sure it's spelled correctly. And then the episode plot, the runtime in minutes, and your user rating for this episode. You can choose it here or within Kodi, makes no difference. You can save your settings for the next time you open up your project by toggling this to green, and then create NFO when you're ready. Now, I want to show you something. there's a lot of episodes in a show, right? So when you're ready for episode 2, SO1EO2, then you hit clear. Show title doesn't disappear. That way you don't have to keep retyping it. That's annoying and prone to spelling errors if you're in a rush or tired, that type of thing. Advanced. Now I showed you the bare minimums for movies and episodes just to get an NFO encoded to load it in there. But to enhance the experience, you'll probably want to fill out these fields. The fields marked in movies are only for movies, and the fields marked for movies and TV shows work on both of them. The tagline for movies, that's the one-liner that shows up underneath the movie name. Country is obvious. Language, you want to type in the three-letter spelling for your language. Mine is ENG. Tag, that is, you put those in order to enhance your Cody's search abilities. So if you have a lot of movies and or TV shows of your vacation to Nepal, maybe you can just type in Nepal here for all your Nepal videos, and you just type in Nepal and I'll pop them all up in one list. Credits, that's pretty obvious. The credits to your production, writer, whatever, one name per field, you're allowed 3. Premiered, that one is going to that one has to be in the format of year first, then month, then day, just as it's shown in the helpful hint. It'll show properly in Kodi, but Kodi needs it this way in order to recognize it, to work with it. Studio, pretty simple. I've recorded a lot of Zoom meetings over the years, so I just typed Zoom meetings from my studio because that was the interface I used. Now, movies have trailers. You can enter a trailer from YouTube, or you can enter in a video trailer from your computer. No other choices, sorry. Um, so if you want to add a trailer that's from a different video, from a video from a different website, you're going to have to download that directly to your computer and then add it here under trailer local, the path on your computer for it. If you fill in both fields, then trailer local is going to take precedence, and that's the one it's going to show. Director grabs from your directors list, and set name should be obvious, but if you don't know what a set is, that is a collection of movies. Avengers movies is a great example. That's a collection of the Avengers movies. That's a set. So you would just type in the name of the set here, and also the description, little short description of the entire series. And you hit toggle to green to save. And when you're done, if it's TV shows, you go back to episode and click create NFO, or if it's movies, you go back here and create NFO. Now everything here works only for episodes, not for the NFO file for the entire TV show selection, if that makes any sense. But we'll get back to that and do another video. Okay, actors, let's talk about that. I like this one. You don't need actors listed in order to put something in Kodi, but I've done that and it's really annoying. It doesn't look very good, and I like to have my actors, not to mention the fact that um, Kodi likes to link actors to other projects. You click on an actor and anything in Kodi with the same actor shows up on a list. It's fantastic. Okay, so I want to show you if you don't have actors listed, where are you? Oh, I feel like I'm blind today. Okay, one thing about actors I want to bring up. Um, all right, so for TV shows, you have to have an NFO file for each individual episode and one for the entire series itself. That's where this window comes in. This creates the NFO file for the entire series. If you don't have actors' pictures listed, you'll just have a blank spot where they belong, or you can put in a link to a banner that will show up where the actors normally would. If you have a banner and actors, then actors will show up by default. So you can just copy and paste the link here. Same with poster, has to end in JPG, BMP, or any other picture format. I wanted to bring that up. Okay, so back to actors. It's pretty simple. Um, Normally, you just go ahead and hit browse. It'll open up in your default actors list that you got from settings. Now you can go ahead and choose. You can go ahead and choose pictures from your local computer or from the internet. Just has to end in a picture extension. And even if this window is blank, you go ahead and choose something, for example, and give it a name. Just 1, 2, 3. All right, this will be the actor's name, and then when you toggle the screen and hit submit, it will save this in your actors folder under this file name so that you can have it available for future use. I mean, that's why I have all these, just from different projects and tutorials and that type of thing. Yeah, so you just go ahead and choose anything you want. I like that dog. Now, I know Cody can go ahead and list many actors, but with this program, you're only allowed a maximum of 5. They're all optional. You don't have to fill them all in. But of course, this is listed as first position. So this will be listed first. This will be listed second, and so on. And even though it shows as it's not required, you really do need an actor's name here. Otherwise, Cody will flip out and not know what's going on. I think it will just show the picture without a name. And obviously, this is actor's role, so you just type what he played, for example, and toggle this to green to save it. You have to hit submit to submit that into your project. So that's really important. It shows you that it's saved and where it's saved to. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the interface. So go over everything, make sure you understand it, and when you're ready, go to the next video, which shows you how to create an NFO for movie. Thank you and have a nice day.